Okay, welcome to the Balanced ProPresenter training. So first, I'm going to walk us through a few things that you'll need for the training, then we'll actually jump into the training. So I've created a little app that will open the ProPresenter training guide, and I've kept it down here in the dock. So if you click on that, it'll launch Safari, and will bring you to this window. So we're going to be using this as our guide going throughout the training. You can also open it if you just forgot something or need a refresher. The way that this training guide works is that it's broken down into 7 big sections with lots of little things underneath it. This overview acts as kind of like a table of contents. So if you're saying, how do I, do quick edits on slides? Well, you can see that's down here in slide work. You can jump down here to the details, which, here, let me put it in view mode because you're not going to be in editing mode. So you just click jump to details, and it should jump you right down. Although it might not because it's not liking this version. But anyway, it will, once I get all those bugs worked out, it'll jump you right down here to slide work. And you can go back up to the top by clicking that. So there will also be videos for some of these. Obviously, I'm making those right now. So this is the Startup and Basics video, and that link will be right here. So you click the video, and it'll take you to YouTube, and it'll play this video. So let's go ahead and jump into Startup. So for Startup, there are a few things that you'll need to know. First, turning on the projectors. So we have 3 projectors, and they're in this little wooden cubby right here next to the desk, next to the iMac. The 2 big projectors are the 2 big black remotes there, and the smaller one that projects onto the rear screen is this smaller silver remote. Make sure that those are on. If you're really good, you can hit them from back here in the booth. You may have to step into the aisleway. This should be the first thing you do when you come in. And if it doesn't work from the aisleway, go on stage and just point it at the front of the projector. You'll hear it beep, and you'll also see a couple of green lights come on, and the fan you'll hear the fan come on. That's the biggest indicator. Of course, if the room is noisy, look for the little green lights, and worst case, just look at the screen, and it should be slowly getting brighter. So once we turn on all 3 projectors, we're going to sign into the Mac. So just, press the Shift key or wiggle the mouse to wake up the iMac. It should be sleeping. Put in the presenter password. If you don't have this password, ask me. You can either text me, call me. I'm not distributing this password via email. And it's not being kept on the iMac in any place like it has been, or on the bottom of the keyboard or anything like that. So you should know the password. If you don't, text me. And my number is all over the booth. Then we're going to launch ProPresenter. So this is the dock. So you can just click the ProPresenter icon here, or you can alternatively hit Command Space and type ProPresenter. And just hit Enter, and it will launch. So I'm going to squeeze this out of the way a little bit so we can have a little more screen real estate. See if I can notch this view down. Maybe not. That's okay. Just trying to get us a little more screen real estate. All right, let's go to basics. So let me walk you around the screen really quick. This is your preview monitor, so this should show what is on the front screens. If you want to display a slide, it's as simple as clicking on one, and that will be displayed. So it's pretty simple. This will give you a direct view of what should be on the front screens. If that's not on the front screens, check to make sure that the projectors are on, and if the projectors are on and you're still not seeing this, call me. You can also double check by clicking this output button. If it says off up here, that means the video is working fine, it's just not sending out. So make sure that's on. It should be a little blue screen. So this up here is the toolbar, and this contains a lot of buttons and things that we're going to be using throughout the training. So when I say toolbar, this is what I'm talking about. And the first thing we're going to get to in the toolbar is the clear all, clear slides, and clear background. So clear all does exactly what it says. It clears everything on the screens. It basically takes you to a black screen, and that will do it for the front screens. Let me find a song that has a background here. Okay. So This right here is a background. The way ProPresenter works is it has layers. The furthest back layer is typically the background. And then all of these slides right here are known as text slides or just slides, and they're text. So if you want just the text and not the background, you can hit clear background. See how it gets rid of that layer but the text stays there? Let's go back to how we had it. If you want to get rid of the slides but keep the background, it's the same thing. You just hit clear slides. So that's the way this works. You can use those clear buttons to help you out. There are short keys or hotkeys for them. If you go to actions, you can see the hotkeys. F1, 2, 3, 4, those are all the different clears. The way to do a function key or an F key on a Mac keyboard is you hold down function. That's the button all the way on the bottom left on the Apple keyboard. So instead of just hitting F1, which will actually lower the brightness of the screen, see I'm hitting F1, that lowers the brightness. If you want to have it input as F1, hold down function. Here, I'm going to click out of that so you can see. Hold down function, then hit F1. Then it clears it. Otherwise, it sees that you're adjusting the brightness. Okay? All right. Library. This is your library. This holds all of the songs, scripture readings, announcement slide decks, all of that stuff is held in here. So anything that's like this is a song that has multiple slides, a background, and other things going on in it. If you want to find a song, you just search, let's just search Amazing Grace. Right, so we've got a bunch of versions of Amazing Grace. I see it found 5. I'm going to clear the search. We have almost 1,200 items in here, so don't try to just scroll through and find something. Please use search. You shouldn't have to find stuff in the library, but just in case, I want you to know what I'm talking about if I say it should be in the library. Next, let's look at playlists. Playlists are groups of songs. So let's look at balanced. And these are sorted by date, so 02/28/16. February 28th, 2016. This is last Sunday. And you can see there are a bunch of different songs in this playlist. So all of these are different playlists for the different Sundays, right? And these are the different songs and items in that playlist. Okay? Now, let's talk about how to change or add a background. Let's say for some reason we don't like this background. All right, let's change it. All of our backgrounds are stored in what's called the video image bin. You can open that by clicking that on the toolbar. See the little movie film strip and the photo icon up here? So we want to make sure that we're in backgrounds. If we're in foregrounds, that means we're going to play a movie, and it won't play behind the lyrics. Backgrounds will play behind the lyrics. So backgrounds, I'm just going to pick a random one here. Why not that one? Sure, that works. If it's the clouds motif. Okay. So the simplest way to change it is to just drag it onto it. But I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to get into that habit. What I want you to do is create another slide for backgrounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on this background slide. We're going to hit copy. We're going to right-click on it again and click paste. Now you can do the same thing by doing Command-C, Command-V. So here, we'll delete this slide. It's asking, are you sure? Yes. So we'll click it, Command-C, Command-V. That may make a liar out of me. Okay, then let's do it by right-clicking, copy, and paste. Okay, so now you have 2 different background slides here. The reason I ask you to do that is because I want you to be able to always go back to the original if you need to. You may not have to, but if you need to, go ahead and go back to the original. I don't want you to lose it and then have to search through it here, because that's not as easy as searching through the library, because then you have to remember the name. So let's go here, Clouds 1. Let's say we want to use this background. All right. Only change backgrounds before doors open. Once doors are open, ProPresenter is pretty much set. Nothing is changing, because if you do, it may change on the screens. So we did that. Now that we have 2 backgrounds here, let's disable this first one. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on it and click Disable. So that's just as easy as that. So let's say we go from prayer and we hit the right arrow. If you disable it, you can still click on it and play it, but that way it won't play when you do the arrows. So right arrow, right arrow is going to skip over it. Same thing down here. So we have a couple of disabled slides down here. Now, if I click on it, it will display it. So we're going to stay there, right arrow, and it goes to the next slide and skips these two. So that's how you enable and disable slides. Disable slides will show up as gray. If you want to re-enable them, so let's click enable. Say we want to go back to the other one, and we'll do that. All right, save frequently. This is really important. Do you see how this little tile down here is orange for Immortal Invisible? That means that we've made edits to this song, and those edits are not changed. Let's close this video image bin so we have more room to work with. That means this is not changed. We want these to be white. So those are white because they're saved. So that way, if ProPresenter were to crash, it would not keep the changes that have been made here. It's just like, you know, a Word document. If you're typing a paper or whatever, and you don't save it, your computer crashes. You've lost that data when you try to bring Word back up. So there's a couple different ways to do this. You can do File, Save All, or you see there's a hotkey here, Command S. So I like using the hotkeys just because it's quicker, and it's good to get in the habit of anytime you see it, just hit Command S. Anytime you see orange boxes, hit Command S. All right? So now it's saved, and that little tile is now white. Do this frequently. If I come by and see an orange tile, I'm probably going to reach over you and hit Command S because ProPresenter can and will fail. I've had it fail twice during a worship service, not at this church, but at other churches and venues, and it creates a headache if it didn't save your changes. Well, it already creates a headache because it's a very noticeable thing to fail. But if you bring it back up and all the changes you made haven't been saved, it creates even more work for you. So save frequently. All right, in the next video, we'll get into the essential Sunday skills, how to change the back screen layout, clocks, stage messages, the kids emergency message, which we haven't used for a while, but we're going to start bringing back in, and how to do video audio checks. All right, I'll see you on the next video.